morning from Hawk Mountain Shelter. I am literally the last person here. There were like 20 people here last night. It is 11:07 and I'm the last one, and as you can see, chaos! Welcome to my wonderful world of chaos! I don't morning well. And I would have morninged better if I hadn't spilled my first cup of coffee. So yeah, now I'm working on replenishing that. But yeah, it has been an eventful morning. It was a lot warmer last night than it was the night before. It was great. It is not windy at all today, thank God. The temperature is going to be like 68 today. Again, thank God. It's not going to be cold and windy like it was yesterday. So that will make my life a lot better. Of course, I am getting a late start today, so I am probably not going to make it to Gooch Gap Shelter like I wanted to. That's 7.5 miles. And seeing as how it took me 7.5 hours to go 5.3 miles yesterday, the chances of me making it to Gooch Gap are very slim. Very, very slim. But you know, you never know. I will get to wherever I get, and that's where I get. That's my philosophical quote of the day so far. It has been an eventful morning. There was a group of young college kids here, and bless their hearts this morning, this one poor girl, you know, they had a little campfire going, which yes, it has been safely extinguished. And this poor kid, poor thing, I don't even know how it even happened, but he managed to accidentally drop her fuel canister into the fire pit somehow. Yeah, you know, I don't morning well either, so I can't say anything. I've never done that, but you know, I don't morning well, so yeah, so anyway, it kind of went kablooey. And we were all awake very quickly. It was great. It was great. We all got a good laugh out of it. Nobody was hurt. All the mess was cleaned up. Everything has been taken care of, so it's all good. But yeah, so she acquired a new trail name and learned about getting fuel canisters too close to fire. And yeah, but it's a beautiful day. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I basically have nothing to say because I haven't had enough coffee. So I am going to just get dressed. I'm still in my pajamas. I'm going to get dressed, and then I'm going to finish packing up the rest of this crap and start heading north, and we'll see how far I get. Me and Sassafras, we have a history. Yeah, maybe I can tell you all that story. 2021, I was doing my first section hike of the AT. I was going to do all of the Georgia section in 10 days, right? Well, day one, I was in better shape then too. Day one, I went from Springer to Hawk Mountain Shelter. I went to here where I'm at now. And it rained overnight that night. And coming out of Hawk Mountain Shelter, I had been on trail literally 10 minutes before I slipped on a rock, wet rock, and fell flat on my butt, and all my weight landed on my right hand, just boom. And I actually thought I had broken my wrist because it felt like an electric shock going all up my arm. It was bad. And I had been hiking all of 10 minutes on day 2 of my section hike. And I thought, well, I was able to move my hand, you know, it hurt, but I was able to move everything. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. It's either hike 8 miles back that way or hike 8 miles forward. What are you gonna do, right? Embrace the suck and keep moving. So I hiked to Gooch Gap Shelter just fine. Except for, this is the fun part, about 1/4 of a mile up Sassafras, which nobody warned me how brutal Sassafras was, right? Sassafras isn't the tallest mountain, but it's pretty darn steep. Well, nobody had warned me about it, so I'm pretty well crawling, creeping up Sassafras, and all of a sudden I notice there's water running down my leg, and I'm like, why am I wet? And so I drop my pack. You know, my wrist is killing me. I'm cranky. Now I'm all soggy, and at that time I used a water bladder in my pack. One of the hoses had been wiggled loose by my fall, and I had about this much water left. And if you're familiar with the section between Hawk Mountain Shelter and Gooch Gap Shelter, like it's about 6.8 miles to get to the next water source. And I was, you know, a quarter of the way up Sassafras. I had this much water and still something like 4-point-something miles to get to the next water source. So I was even more cranky. So I'm creeping up Sassafras, and it was hot. It was, you know, in September. And I'm just like rationing my water, taking sips. But, you know, I didn't want to, you know, they say don't ration your water, drink what you need. But I only had this much, so I had to. Otherwise, I would drink it all and then have nothing for potentially almost 5 more miles. So I'm taking sips here and there, and I'm creeping up the mountain and then creeping down the mountain. And when I got into Cooper Gap, some beautiful human had left 2-gallon jugs of water right there at the base of Sassafras. That was my first taste of trail magic, and oh boy, it literally saved me. It saved me. I was able to get enough water to last until I got to whatever creek that was to completely refill, and it saved the day. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm procrastinating because I don't morning well and I'm very slow, or if because I'm still mildly traumatized from that event 4 years ago. And I kind of don't want to go out there again. So yeah, that's my Hawk Mountain, Sassafras Mountain trauma story from 2021. And that was the first time I really kind of understood the principle of embrace the suck and keep going. Because at that point it was like, you know, I'm pretty seriously injured. Because when I got to camp that night, you know, I could walk just fine. But my hand was useless. I couldn't pick up my pack. I couldn't put down my pack. I couldn't grasp anything to zip or unzip or pick up my food bag. If it was my left hand, I could have probably fared better. But yeah, I had to go home on day 3 of my 10-day hike because I couldn't camp. My hand was ruined, right? But yeah, that day I learned the art of embracing the suck and keeping going. Because I could either have gone 8 miles back to where I started from and go to the ER from there, or I could go 8 miles forward and continue on my goal and then reevaluate in the morning and go to ER if I needed to, which is you know, what I ended up doing. So it's like I can either hike or I can hike. May as well hike forward, right? You know, may as well keep going forward because I'll be hiking the same amount of miles to get back, so what the heck? So always fail forward, you know, if you can. When something happens, just keep moving forward. So I'm going to shut up now and put all this crap away. And oh, look, we have a person coming. So bye for now. More later, y'all.
Hey, this is Boom Boom. Tell us how you got your name just this morning.
Well, I was going to heat up my stove, boil some water for breakfast, and I totally was just sleepy and forgot that the plastic measuring cup was still on the bottom of my pot, and I just started heating it up, and the plastic started melting everywhere. I tried to turn it off, but flames were like gushing everywhere, so I threw it in the fire pit, and we waited for it to run out of gas, and then at the end it just went
And that is how you get a trail name.
Boom Boom.
Congratulations, I think.
Hello, fabulous people. Yes, it is 1 o'clock, and I just now left the shelter. Let's see, where am I going? This way. Yeah, it was a slow morning. Like I said, we had the excitement of the exploding canister. I spilled a cup of coffee. I had to remake it. And then because I didn't really like how I had my backpack packed, I just kind of tore it all apart and re-put it together. So it feels better now. Still too heavy, but better than it was. And yeah, so there's no way at all I'm going to make it to Gooch Gap Shelter. So I'm just going to I'm going to hike a little bit and then find a campsite. I was thinking Devil's Kitchen, but that's like 6 miles away, which is 6 hours, which would get me there at 7 if, and only if, I actually move as fast as 1 mile an hour. So, whoops. Not likely to happen. So we shall see. But yeah, it's a gorgeous day. It's definitely 68, and look how amazing it is, everybody. No wind. It's the exact opposite of yesterday. Yesterday was icky. Today is gorgeous. So I really wish I had gotten on trail earlier. But also I'm very glad I took the time to repack my pack. And again, today's sassafras, which scares me to death, but hey, all is well. All is well. So, you'll have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is for you, and I will be back later. I made it to the little camping spot I mentioned earlier. It is about like 0.8 of a mile from Hawk Mountain Shelter. It's basically hardly any distance at all, but it's fairly flat. Maybe it's a little bit of a slope, but not bad. Just enough to be mildly annoying all night, but I'm setting up my tent now. And I'm just gonna have a nice chill day, chill evening. I haven't even come close to working on my first blog post for the trek yet, so I've really got to do that. And it'll just be a nice way to spend a narrow day. And then I did my first real through hiker thing today. I made a reservation at Above the Clouds hostel for Thursday. So they're gonna pick me up at Gooch Gap at noon on Thursday, if everything goes okay. And so I'll get to stay at Above the Clouds, which is one of the places I've wanted to stay. Yeah, and I will get a shower, yay shower, and do laundry, and do my resupply, and have a real breakfast, and basically just a nice little bit of civilization. So, yep, that's where I'm at, and I can recharge all my things, and it's all good. So, I'm going to finish setting up my tent, and I will talk to you later. Everybody, it is about 5:15 and I am set up here. I am just past High Tower Gap at an unofficial campsite. You can tell that people have camped here before. Hopefully you can see there's, the remains of a campfire there from before, and there's logs set around for people to sit on. And yeah, so I marked this spot on one of my section hikes. Made a note on my far out that it was here, and it's literally just off trail. The trail, that's literally the trail right behind me, and I'm right by High Tower Gap is right there. So I've got this neat little spot, got it all to myself. It's just very quiet, very peaceful, making an introvert happy. People are great, but introverts need introverting, right? So, got my tent all set up, and I'm fixing to make dinner in a little bit, and I got my clothes hanging out, airing out, and yeah, I'm just kind of all set to hang out and chill, and then hopefully in the morning I can get a good early start, without being, distracted by people and conversations and whatnot. I have 7 miles to go tomorrow. I am going to make it to Gooch Gap Shelter tomorrow. Because on, what's tomorrow? Wednesday? Because Thursday at noon, I'm getting picked up. I'm taken to Above the Clouds Hostel, which is one of the hostels I've wanted to stay at. And they do a free shuttle if you stay there. So I'm going to get picked up at Gooch Gap Thursday at noon. And I'm going to go to Above the Clouds. It'll be my first ever hostel stay. I've never stayed at a hostel before. Like I said, as a section hiker, you know, I'm out 3-4 days at a time. Then I go home. This is the first time I've ever been out 4 days at a time. Gotten a shuttle, gotten a hostel, gotten a resupply, and then gone back out. So that'll be fun. It will be an experience. And then I'm not sure, I don't really have any plans for after that. Since I am slow, I'm trying to figure out kind of where my next resupply after that's gonna be. But I'll worry about it later when I'm at the hostel. But yeah, it is just this neat little spot here. Hopefully y'all can see that. The sun's right in my eyes. Yes, y'all can see it. Yeah, and it's just nice here. So I guess that is probably all I got for today. It's just kind of a nothing day. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So unless something else happens for today, I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye. Okay, so I wasn't gonna video anymore, but this log I'm sitting on, a little mouse just ran out from under here, and it ran under my backpack, right? And so I shoot it away from my backpack so it wouldn't chew up my backpack. Ran under my tent. Oh, and it was adorable. It was so cute. Let me see, I think, oh, you can just kind of see that little bit of fluff right there. I'm just gonna see if I can move my tent. Ah, hey, little fuzzball. Oh, you're so cute. Okay, but oh. And that, my friends, is why I leave nothing outside of my tent. Everything, except my food bag, of course, comes in my tent at the end of the day. Everything. Again, except for food. Because my luck, there'd be like a copperhead in my shoe or something, right? Or I reach into my backpack and find a scorpion or a rattlesnake or something charming like that. But yes, cute little Mr. McFluffins. He ran over to my coat. But, yeah, anyway, just had to share. I thought it was adorable.